Thanks indeed for staying with us. It's a nice one there. A vibrant lady in green, really leading those men to submit the petition for the recall of Senator Natasha. Let's join our guest this morning very quickly. Comrade Gerard Kachi, human rights activist and public affairs analyst. We are also expected to be joined by Engineer Chibudun Elekwachi, a political analyst. Comrade, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Yes, we saw the record there, and it appears that the people are serious.
Of course, it's only in Nigeria that a lot of political gimmick, can be, taken serious. But then I don't see them succeeding because history has shown that no National Assembly member has ever been recalled in Nigeria, either House of Rep or Senator.
But in this case, they may be more serious. You saw the lady,
no matter the seriousness,
and the team of men.
It's simply an attempt to silence Senator Natasha. Is an obstruction of her justice.
Are you sure?
Yes, it is. It is suppression of decent voice. Attempt to just silence her because of the allegation. That is why they say that there's no smoke without fire. You understand? All these shenanigans that are going on tends to show that there were actually relationships or there were actually attempts by the Senate president towards her, because I see no reason for all of this. Senator Natasha has been suspended for 6 months. That is not enough for those who pushed for her suspension. There were reports that even the process of suspending her were manipulated. Now she's outside the country. She also from there alleging that there were plans to arrest her upon her return. So what I see there is this, that the former governor of Kogi State attempts to make himself politically relevant because he will, plus or minus, benefit from this.
How?
If they succeed, which I know they will not succeed, in recalling Senator Natasha, he will present himself to represent the constituency. There is a district, senatorial district.
Are you alleging that this is sponsored?
Of course, it's not issue of alleging or allegations. It's just like something you have in your hand. You are seeing it. You know what it is. You see the color. In fact, as of last week when they started this shenanigans, there were some persons they call in that constituency that it was on video, it was on record, it was on report everywhere that they were summoned. With regards that they want to give them empowerment. Some say that they were called out they should come with their PVC, that they will give them palliatives. On getting to that place, they started telling them, for you to get empowerment or palliative, you have to tender your PVC, you have to sign this place and that place. It becomes this deception that we have always seen with our leaders. Manipulations, suppression of voices, obstruction of justice, reprisal of decent voices. That is what it is. And there's no other way to put it. It's very, very shameful activity that we are seeing today. Even if there should be any need for recall, say for example in the case of misconduct, let's the allegation that she has levied against the Senate president be investigated. And now that they have suspended her, how can you investigate such matter when she has been suspended? Let Senate president step aside. He has to step aside. A lot of things that are oozing out from that National Assembly under his chairmanship is not good for our collective coexistence. It's not good for our global image. It continues to do damage in our integrity, continues to do damage in our name as a country among other Commonwealth of Nations. That is why you see Nigerians, whenever they go outside the shores of the country, they are not respected. The passport they're supposed to carry a lot of dignity, they're supposed to carry with a lot of respect, it's not been accorded with such.
No. Are you because when we watch that recall video, the lady who spoke, you could see her more like Senator Natasha's constituent a vibrant woman. Maybe they have so many vibrant ladies from that particular area, and she is saying that she cannot. The people, they are worried that they need to be represented. They need to have a voice. That for now they don't have a voice in the Senate, and they want to recall her and send someone that will be their voice.
Well, it's not the first time we have seen somebody being suspended under the leadership of Senator Akpabio. I think Senator Natasha should be the third senator that has been suspended. Alindume was suspended. I think Abdul Ningi was also suspended. Did you hear or see anybody made an attempt to record them?
Maybe the people of Kogi Central are vibrant.
It's not an issue of vibrance. It's manipulated. It's induced.
Do you have evidence?
The evidence is before everybody now. You saw in the video people that were assembled saying that they were asked to come and collect empowerment. What other evidence that is superior than that? Only for them to start asking them to sign signature, bring their PVC, tender their PVC. Just like what we have last year when we were organizing bad governance protests to express our dissatisfaction with inflation we are having in society. You saw a lot of, you begin to hear intelligent reports from DSS, from police, that it could be hijacked, this could happen, that could happen. While all those things we are going on, you see even the one that they have already brought into their camp, either the religious leaders or monarchs, telling you that you should shave these things aside. If they are not suffering the same thing you are suffering. And you see even pro-government protesters carrying out protests successfully without anybody hijacking it or even infiltrating it. It was that same period we saw some women assembled at the Ego Square. They were also told to come and collect palliative and other things, only for them to be put on record, giving placards. Was it not the same on this Natasha that we saw at the National Assembly, where some cleaners at the Federal Secretariat and other women were assembled and gave a dues with 5,000 naira? On getting to that place, they were giving placards they have already written. It's not a new thing. It was in this country when Showore was arrested, incarcerated. We went to National Assembly carrying out protests demanding for his release. While we were doing that with a protest letter, we saw government-owned vehicles. This one they call L5 buses. That is Abuja Automobile.
Abuja Urban Mass
Transit. About 4 of them carrying stick-wielding guys, shouting "Say Baba, say Baba." They beat a lot of our activists that day. They collected phones. And the way media reported it, that 2 protesters clashed, pro-government protesters and the anti-government protesters. So all of this, it was in this country that we saw during end SARS protests. We saw SUVs, those on suits sponsoring talks to hijack protests, directing them on who to beat and who not to beat. So it's not issue of do we have evidence? You do. The evidence is almost everywhere. You can search it. You will see it.
Now, but you've not spoken to what the lady raised, because the lady was more passionate. As far as she is concerned, they needed somebody at the Senate now, that they cannot stay without representation.
Has there been any senator that has been powerful as the 2 years of Senator Natasha in that Central District? The evidences are there. The impasse, human capital impact she had made in that constituency, that district, is there for verification. You see, once there is an assembly, it's all over the world. You must have Brutus, you must have the likes of Judas,
you must have Caesar. You must have Caesar.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you will always see a willing tool that will give you something look like a reasonable reason to carry out their.
Okay, thank you very much, Comrade Gerard Kachi. Now we want to take from Engineer Chinedum Elekwachi. If he's ready, let's get him on so that we can discuss. Okay, fine. Comrade Engineer, you ready there? So, Engineer, if you can hear me clearly here, let's have your take on the commencement of the recall process of Senator Natasha Akpoti Oduaran. Yesterday, some persons from a constituency led by Abdurrahman and that lady in green, very vibrant, went to the Maitama headquarters of INEC, submitting a petition and saying that Natasha needs to come back home, that they are eager to get a quality representation. Engineer Elekwachi, what's your take?
Well, thank you for having me, for inviting me. And about the recalling of Senator Natasha, it's not against the constitution of the country, and it falls within the ambit and provisions of our constitution and the fundamental rights or privileges of the constituents, or people that elected and sent Natasha to the National Assembly. So it falls within their rights, their constitutional rights, and their rights as the people that elected that are not out of contest. That is what I want to say for now. Whether she's performed fine in Senate or whether she has not performed fine is left for our constituents, the people she represents, to judge her by her performance. And according to the provision of the Constitution on Section 69, the Constitution makes it explicitly clear on why a senator can be recalled. And when your people says that they have lost confidence in you, they have the right to initiate a process to recall you and to send you back home. And what we've heard from people from Kogi Central that submitted this petition yesterday in the INEC, they said they have lost confidence on Senator Natasha, and for her gross misconduct, for disobeying rules of the Senate, bringing her constituent to public ridicule. That's their reason for choosing that route of trying to recall her. For now, we say it falls within their rights as citizens, as constituents, as people that elected her and sent her to the Senate, to call her back if they feel that they have lost confidence in her.
Okay, Engineer Chinedu, one fundamental fact is the worry that some persons are having that this group, according to our guest here, that this group, according to what he's alleging, that the group appeared sponsored and they want to silence a very outspoken Amazon whom he believed had given this senatorial district a voice in almost 2 years now in the red chambers. What's your take?
You see, Senator Natasha is someone I have admired. I admired her courage, her doggedness, her dexterity. Right from her days in the SDP when she ran for governor of Kogi, I started following her. And eventually she won to the Senate. I admire her courage. But her recent action had negated all those things or principles we thought she was imbibing. Just look at what happened in the Senate that gave room for all this. Was she in order? The answer is no. She disobeyed the rule of the Senate. And what she would have done hurriedly was to seek for reconciliation and ask the Senate to forgive her for her action. Rather than doing that, she resorted to accusing the presiding officer of the Senate. As if that was not enough, the Senate now suspended her. When she was suspended, she went to lie against the Senate. Because she accused the president of harassment, which was a blatant lie. Senator Natasha was suspended in the Senate because she disobeyed the rules of the Senate, the rules of engagement of the Senate. Every organization has their rules of engagement. We must protect the Senate as an institution. It's not about as our democracy. We must protect it. The rules of the Senate must be protected as an institution, as an entity must be protected. Senator Natasha disobeyed the rules of the Senate, and it was on that premise that she was suspended from the Senate. She resorted to making up lies that she was suspended because of sexual harassment. The sexual harassment you are the president of, you have not even proven it without any evidence. So, whether this recent action from her constituents are sponsored or not, I wouldn't want to dive into that, but we know this is politics. Anything can be possible. But let us talk about the morality, about the conduct of Senator Natasha recently. What led to all this?
But engineer, hello. If you can hear me, engineer, there is also a school of thought that is saying that with Natasha's allegation that they consider very weighty, that in sane and civilized climate, by now, Senate President Godswill Akpabio ought to step aside for proper investigation of the sexual harassment allegation. Not proven yet, allegation leveled against him. He ought to step aside so that they can look at it properly from the lens of an independent inquiry.
Who is going to set up the independent inquiry? There is nothing in this context now. There is nothing that has warranted the Senate President to step aside. Number one is that the day Senator Natasha brought her petition about the sexual harassment allegation against the Senate President to the floor of the Senate. The Senate accepted it. The presiding officer accepted it initially before a point of order was raised by the Senate chief whip that in the rules of the Senate is not allowed to accept the petition written signed by a senator. And because of that point of order, the Senate rejected the petition. Okay. It was rejected by the Senate. Not imagine that earlier the Senate President have accepted it and referred it to the Senate Committee on Notice and Privileges. But because of the standing orders of the Senate, the standing rules of the Senate, which was raised by the chief whip of the Senate, collaborated by the leader of the Senate, the Senate has to stand by its rules and work by its rules. That petition on sexual harassment was rejected by the Senate. And I think on the second day, which was the day her suspension issue was deliberated, she also brought similar petition. So as for now, that petition is not before the Senate Committee on Notice and Privileges, because the medium which it was submitted or petition to the Senate was not in line with the rules of provision of the Senate rules. So I don't know why people are saying that the Senate President should step aside. Step aside from where? Because as for now, it just looks like the Senate has no petition before it on sexual harassment from Senator Natasha. So what is the Senate President stepping aside for? And who is going to set the very panel of inquiry?
Engineer Lekwachi, my last question before I come back to Comrade Gelad Kachi. My last question here, if we can get it clearly, the discussion and conversation which some persons are raising here is, how come a senatorial district that in a main heated contested election got just about 100,000 votes, for a recall they have raised over 200 and something thousand signatures? Where did they perform that magic that they couldn't perform in a general election? Can you hear me? Hello?
Is the question for me?
Go ahead.
Please come again.
The question I ask is, a senatorial district that during a heavily contested election could only muzzle both the APC and the PDP about 100,000 votes or slightly above. Now people are garnering over 250,000 votes, their signatures, to recall her. Where did they perform that magic that they couldn't perform during a general election?
That is it. And you can see that because of her action, she have allowed vested interest to throw in, and that is not very fine. That is not very fine. But unfortunately, what is happening now is just telling you that there is a lot of interest that has been built up that wants her out of the Senate, and this is not how it's supposed to be. But because in her cost from the petition, it was said that about 2,050 persons signed that petition, which is more than 50% of voters from her region, which makes it in consonance with the provisions of the Constitution that 50% of persons from your constituency must sign the petition for your recall, and that has happened. That means that That is within the provision of the Constitution. The second leg now will now be for INEC to verify, to know whether those persons that signed the petition are truly registered voters in Kogi Central. When that is done, a referendum will be conducted. And from where things are going, if 2,050 persons can sign this petition, who they feel that they are duly registered voters in Kogi Central, that means Senator Natasha might have her way out of the Senate. Of course, since the return of this democracy since 1999, no senator or legislator anywhere in the country has been able to be recalled by her constituents, because we see that the process in the Constitution, the hurdle is very enormous. But we can just oppose what happened in 2018 when the people in Kogi West tried to recall Senator Dino Malaye. You know, Senator Dino Malaye later survived that recalling process because of one singular thing, that his colleagues then in the Senate was in support of him, was the presiding officer of the Senate, who was supporting him. In this scenario of Senator Natasha, I don't think any senator is openly supporting her.
Very much.
The officer of the Senate is not supporting her, which makes it looks like it's going to be possible with the number of persons that have generated this petition and have signed the petition. It looks like it's going to be possible for her to be recalled by her people. Okay,
you are saying it's possible for her to be recalled. Thank you very much, Engineer Chinedum Elekwachi, political analyst. Thank you very much, Engineer. Let's come back to the studio now. Thank you for joining us and sharing your thought with us on independent television. Thank you, Engineer. Let's come to you quickly. It appears as if Engineer Elekwachi holds different thoughts from you. He's saying, as far as he's concerned, that Natasha breached the Senate rules, Natasha contravened, and all of these are all happening because Natasha erred as far as it is concerned, breaching everything about the Senate.
Yeah, you see, there's a popular saying that he that goes to equity must go with clean hands. And it was our Savior, Lord Jesus Christ, in the Bible, and a Christian, that said that he that is without sin be the first to
cast the first stone.
Cast the first stone. And that is what we are seeing here. Issue of Senate rules or National Assembly rules, upon which they are leveraging on trying to do suppress Senator Natasha's voice, is something that is on record that Senator Akpabio have broken several times. But because of the maturity of the leadership at that time, they managed him. In 2018, he defected from PDP to APC. Then he was a minority leader. APC were a majority in that, I think, 9th Senate. I think 8th Senate. He refused to step down as a minority leader, even when he defected from PDP to APC. It was the same period that he shouted down on Senator Saraki when he was being called to order to go to a seat that is assigned to him that has mic. So it appears like all these, if you must kill a dog, you must give it a bad name. Now, talking about the wonders of APC, where they claim that in their record they have, if not hundreds of thousands of votes. It's because history is repeating itself.
No, not APC, it's a constituent that they said they got that number of votes.
Of course, it's APC. That is
it may be just voters. Okay, let's just maybe those who voted for her in PDP.
Okay, let's just agree that it's the voters.
PDP and APC.
The constituency, yes, all the parties involved.
Yeah.
It was on report, it was on record that APC did primaries in 2021 in Anambra State gubernatorial elections. And the person that emerged in that primary was, I think, Anduba.
Okay.
With over 230,000 votes. Over 230,000 to beat all other aspirants to emerge as a candidate.
Okay.
In the re-election, the APOGA candidate, that is Professor Soludo, won with 112,000 votes. He came, I think, either third or fourth with 43,000 votes.
We had the other 60,000.
You're asking about the other one with 230,000 votes.
You're asking about the other 180,000.
The entire vote in that election for Anambra was if you put all the votes, council votes, legitimate votes, invalid votes, and all the whole parties that participated, is about 250 something, 51,000.
But this one now,
and only him got 230,000. So what I'm trying to do, I can mention up to 30 cases where APC do a lot of political miracles and wonders.
But what Engineer Elekwachi raised is that it's possible that the people are more angrier with Natasha now, having seen the way
it's been economical with the truth. You know, that is what I'm trying to clear. That's what it was. The same APC that under their leadership during President Muhammad Buhari, they claimed that they were feeding school children amidst lockdown. So I'm not surprised with that kind of talk. You even see even more cogent talks.
But
I'm not surprised if he's claiming that Natasha have a... By the way, who in that National Assembly that have not had issues of misconduct? Was it not last week that they were talking about this state of emergency? That Senator Siriake Dixon, who is countryman's governor, expressed his dissatisfaction with the way the Senate president handled his voice when he was making an attempt to speak. It is under his leadership also that there were reports that opposition senators are being sidelined in decision making. So it's not new that you begin to see, we will see more of that, and if care is not taken, you will begin to see the way they do the formation. And I'm surprised that what they did to that core member, with the different pictures and videos that they are sending on social media, they have not started it with Natasha. They may get to that point, you begin to see irrelevant distractions just to tarnish her image or morals. But of course, I trust that woman. That woman does not look like somebody that's back then.
But it is another woman who is leading them now, a vibrant woman like her.
Of course, that's like I said, there will always be a Brutus, there will always be a Judas. Was it not, how do I put it? They said yes, a prophet is not celebrating his own land. Don't be surprised that the same woman that is leading, if Natasha call her attention and present her own side of the matter and water pass under the bridge, she will change camp.
What is water under the bridge?
What always pass under the bridge?
Water.
Water, yes.
Is it money or water?
What always pass under the bridge?
I'm asking, is it water or money that passes under the bridge?
It's an idiomatic expression.
And somebody asked, is it water or money that goes under the bridge?
A lot of things go under the bridge.
Not just water.
Including air.
And money.
Yes.
Okay, but the one he also raised, where he differed with you heavily, is the fact that he sees no reason why Senator Godswill Akpabio should step down. As far as he is concerned, Akpabio has done very well. He has led the Senate very well. Natasha contravened, and there is no need for him to step down as president of the Senate.
Yes, I even heard him saying that there was no petition, to work on. The first petition that was submitted, they claimed that the woman is not abreast with the Senate rules. She's not supposed to appress her signature, and less than 24 hours, that petition was struck down, dismissed. She brought in another petition on the day she was suspended. Another petition signed by a constituency.
Okay.
It's still there. So, assuming without conceding, what are the works of the National Assembly? Is it not oversight function? Check and balances. If a principal officer at the National Assembly is accused, where you have people that do work with utmost integrity and moral upliftment, the onus, the expected thing to do, is it not to call the accuser, bring parties, investigate the matter? Are you going to wait until it's being brought to you? Look at the state of emergency endorsement they gave. Did they follow the rules of the National Assembly? The rules said that they should make it by head count, votes, not yea and nay. Even when that lady was suspended, we watched on video where majority of those in the Senate are saying no. At a point, Senator Akpabio got confused and repeated himself more than 3 times.
in an attempt to convince the Senate so that they will understand what he is reading. Yet at the end of the day, he slashed the gavel.
But would that be why?
Is it not a expression of abuse of power and impunity?
No, I will come back. Let's just touch on a small thought here. Are you a small thought? We'll come back to this. Just a small to get your thought on this. While we are still within the Natasha issue, the Obasanjo comment of yesterday that many consider too derogatory. Well, Parliament. Quickly, we are about going to Lagos now. Quickly, your last thought.
Oh yes, Obasanjo making. Don't even see the morality with Obasanjo, because in 2006 it was allegedly reported that he made an attempt to bribe National Assembly with 50 million naira.
But now he said
his third term, meaning that any accusation that is coming from me, there are elements and the atoms of truth in it.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be swept under the carpet.
Okay.
Of course, we saw what happened with regards to this issue of state of emergency. They claimed that some senators were paid $10,000.
But it was Salah gift, something was Ramadan gift, and all of that.
When even we have not even finished the Ramadan.
Maybe they are just preparing for the breaking of fast.
The same way Senate President gave them some things in December at a time he was informed that he was live. So senators explained that he said he sent gift to your name, he sent the mail.
Blessings to the account.
To the mail.
Okay, thank you. We'll leave it at that here. Well, thank you very much, Comrade Gerald Akachi, for being on the program this morning and sharing your thoughts with us on Independent Television on the recall process of Senator Oduaga Natasha, one vibrant woman, but currently heavily embattled on our side. Thank you very much, Engineer Chinedum Elekwachi, for also discussing with us. We wish you all the very best.
Thank you for having me.